I think we're live. Hello, everyone. If you're catching this live, would love to hear from you. Drop in the comments if you're watching this live or if you are catching the replay. Either one's awesome. And today we are talking about how to step up your step up. Across the board with most of my private clients, with a lot of the students who come through the public classes I have too, consistently stepping up from top of your mat is just a very difficult move for a lot of people. So I thought I would come on here today and just help troubleshoot a few options for when you are working with your step up during a class or in your own practice. So if you do have two blocks, they would be really helpful. If not, that's fine too. We'll give you a couple more tips that you don't. We'll be using those today. So first and foremost, before any practice, let's just have a short grounding session here. So maybe crossing your legs, maybe you come and sit up on a block. That can be super helpful for the comfort of your knees and hips, especially if your knees tend to be like up here like this. You might even use your blocks instead, either underneath your hips to give you extra support on either side. So just come to a seat for a moment. Maybe your hands rest in your lap, or maybe you kind of hold your heart and your stomach. Let's take 3 regular breaths, just watching how the breath is flowing today. In and out through the nose if possible. And if you'd like, we'll take a few rounds of clearing breath, inhaling through the nose and sighing out of your mouth. Beautiful. Let's just wiggle the arms out a little bit here. Take a few more flowing breaths using the arms with the inhale, flipping the palms, reaching up. And exhaling to lower your hands down to the heart center. Inhale, lift the hands high. Exhale, sweep down and around. A couple more times. Inhale, reach. Hands to heart. Inhale, hands high. And exhale, lower back down. If there are any other little movements you want to warm up, go right ahead. Maybe rotate out your wrists a little bit here, both with the hands in a gentle fist and also with the fingertips out, stretched. All right. We'll come to hands and knees next for a couple of rounds of our cat and cow. It's always good to warm up a little bit here. Cat and cow is just a classic. So hands right below the shoulders, knees right below the hips. As you're ready, use your inhale to lift your gaze. Press down through your hands so your chest is kind of lifted, lifting the tailbone, cow pose. And exhale, tuck your chin, cat. Keep moving at your own pace here, inhaling to cow pose. And exhaling to cat. Always encourage you to explore any other little extra movements throughout your cat and cow. I like a little twist through the shoulders and hips. All right. We'll do one more little warm up here before we get into our troubleshooting the step up. So first we're gonna do kind of a mini step up here. So if you do have blocks, maybe you bring your hands up on top of blocks to give you a little more clearance here underneath your body. You could even come up to the higher settings, which will help even more. Let's shoot the right leg out, straight out behind you. And almost like you're doing cat pose, start to pull your knee in, rounding your spine. If you need to give your foot a little bit of help here and come up, step through. All right, so let's just drop the hips forward and down, finding a little bit of a hip flexor stretch through the left hip and left thigh. I kind of like to come in and out of the stretch. I just like to keep moving, but you might hold steady here, continuing to press down, lifting your chest and your gaze, feeling that nice stretch through the left hip flexor. And a couple times we'll just go from our low lunge here to our half splits. So pulling the hips back over your back knee, peel your right toes up off of the floor, pulling your toes in toward your face. And just straighten your right leg enough until you feel a stretch through the back of your left leg. So for a lot of people, that means your your right knee, stays very bent. If you're not feeling the stretch through the back of your leg, maybe you start to pull the right hip back a little bit more and straighten your legs. You could try pointing your toes too. That might get into the back of your leg a little bit more. And a couple times through, let's come forward to our low lunge and then back to half splits. A couple of times like so, helping to warm up and open up before we do our step up. All right, when you're ready, let's switch legs. So again, maybe coming up to even the highest setting of your blocks. See if you can engage through your right leg enough so you can lift your foot up off of the floor and then slide it back. All right, we're gonna switch sides so the left leg goes straight back behind you. Pull your left knee in, rounding your spine, maybe getting enough space there to step your left foot through. Shift your hips forward and down until you feel a good hip flexor stretch through the right hip and thigh this time. Maybe coming in and out of that a little bit, going to your sweet spot, backing out. And shifting to half splits when you're ready. Hips pull back, left toes peel up off of the floor. Being mindful and careful as you move. You don't want to force your way into any poses here. And then let's go forward and back a couple of times. Low lunge to half splits. Low lunge to half splits. Couple more times. Alrighty. When you're ready, we're coming back to our low lunge. See if you have the strength to lift up your left leg just a little bit and slide it back. Let's come to one downward facing dog here before we get into our step up. So I love having blocks underneath my hands, fingertips spread out nice and wide, curling the toes under. Start to pick up your knees and then send your tailbone back and up. Breathing here as you pedal your legs out a couple of times. All right, we're gonna, I'll show you what a kind of classic step up looks like first, and then we'll go through a few variations that are equally as great. So normally, what I like to cue in classes is to bend the knees and look forward. And we'll step up with the right foot here. So as you do, we're kind of going to rock up to the toes, pull your right knee in toward your chest as much as you can, leaning forward, and then stepping the right foot forward first, and then the left to the top, forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift, and exhale to fold. Step back tends to be a little bit easier. Let's try it now, stepping the right foot back first, and then the left to our downward dog. Let's try that again with the left foot this time a little bit quicker. We'll bend the knees, start to shift forward so your shoulders come over your wrists, pull your left knee in toward your chest, and then step forward. Left foot forward first, then the right. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Keep breathing now. We'll step the left foot back first, and then the right. Other times in classes, sometimes you'll cue like right foot way up in the air, and then come forward. So it's the same process there of shifting forward, coming up to your tippy toes on your left foot, and then stepping up. If that's not quite doing it for you, I know a lot of people who are in larger bodies, sometimes it just makes more sense to step off to the right side. So let's give that a try. We're going to bend the knees, look forward, and then aim to step your right foot on the outside of your right block or foot or hand. And then the left to the top. You might then move your blocks and toe heel your feet into place at the center. Inhale to halfway lift. And exhale to fold. Let's stand all the way up here. Inhale, rise. Join the palms overhead and exhale, hands to heart center. Take a moment or two to yourself. Then we'll try that once again. So forward folding. Let's step the right foot back first and then the left to our downward dog. Let's try that step up with the left leg. Let's inhale to lift the left leg high behind you. Exhale, step forward. Shift to the tippy toes of the right foot. Hug your left knee in toward your chest, and then step your left foot to the outside of your left hand or block. And then your right. Again, coming back to the center, toe heeling in. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Coming down now. The step up, of course, will take some practice and mindfulness as you continue to grow with it, but no, stepping out to the outside of your feet ends up being a lot easier for a lot of people. And just one more time, we'll kind of go over the mechanics of it here. So from our downward facing dog, stepping up with the right foot, we want to first come to the tippy toes, shift the shoulders over the wrists as you pull your right knee in toward your chest, getting as much clearance there as you can. And then stepping up. If your foot doesn't ever make it all the way up, you can kind of give it a little hoist. And then step the left foot to the top. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Let's step the left foot back first and then the right. One last time. We'll step up with the left this time. Big breath in. And out. Inhale, lift the left toes high. Exhale, shift forward, hug the left knee in, step up. And then the right foot to the top. All right, I hope you have gotten a couple of good tips there. Let me know if that helped at all with your practice, stepping up or not. Remember that even if your yoga teacher is not cueing the use of blocks, you are always, always welcome to take the blocks and use them as you need or want. And even if that means you end up being a breath or two behind what the teacher is cueing, that's okay. It's totally okay. You never have to be breathing and moving at the exact moment that the teacher is cueing it. You can always, I even sometimes prefer to be a breath or two or a pose or two behind, especially in those kind of faster vinyasa classes where it's like one breath to one movement. I kind of like to have like a sneak peek of what's coming next so I can fully take the breath in and then move into the position that I know we're headed into. So please always feel encouraged to do your own thing. Take it at your own pace. And if there are any other movements that you want me to help troubleshoot, I'd love to do that. Let me know if you have ideas for next time. And hope your Monday is off to a great start. We'll see you again soon.